Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's award-winning podcast, as voted by Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and listeners. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts, listen back to all our previous episodes, sit back, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome back to Gardening with Ben. Well, there were no episodes yesterday, but we are back today with a episode for you to listen to. And we're going to be recording the next few days' episodes as well today, so that you can listen to them as I'm working the rest of for the next 4 days. So I won't be able to record them, so I'll be recording them all today so that you can listen to them in the next few days. And they will be talking about all the seeds what are free this month in Grow Your Own magazine and the Kitchen Garden magazine. Have you done all your February jobs? And all the seeds what you can plant in March, and then all the jobs which need doing in the garden and allotment in March. So make sure you click that subscribe button and then you'll get notified when these episodes upload, and you will be able to listen to them each and every day. And thank you for those that have subscribed to the channel so far. It's great to welcome you to this great community. So yeah, what have we been up to on the allotment? I need to think now, because I did have a few drinks last night, so my brain's not fully functioning today. But yeah, yesterday was an absolute glorious day, and I shared on my Instagram that it got to 20 degrees in my polytunnel, which is fantastic for February. It just goes to show that hopefully the weather is starting to go in the right direction, and we certainly have not had a bad winter at all this year. Yes, we've had a lot of wind, but we've not had a lot of cold. We've not had bad snow, we've not had much rain, and yeah, you can't really complain at the winter that we've had this year. And hopefully it will start to get warmer, and you never know, we may get one of those early heat waves what we've had the past couple of years, when we usually get a heat wave like in March or in April time, and that will be a great time to get all those seeds growing and started down at the allotment and the garden. So what have we been up to recently? So I've been checking up on my seeds what I'm growing at the moment. My onion seeds, they're growing really well now in the shed, and we hopefully will be getting those ready to plant possibly end of March outside in the ground. We'll have to see how the weather is, whether it's not too snowy, but we'll have to look at getting those planted soon. I've planted 4 different varieties of onion seeds. There's absolutely loads that have grown from each packet, so I possibly won't be using them all, but we'll see how we get on and which ones we do grow, so we'll be starting them off. Then we have got some herbs which have started sprouting. I think they're my parsley and coriander which have started growing. I had a look at my rocket today. My rocket's just started to get some little sprouts popping through, which is always great to see new seedlings popping through the ground. I certainly do get amazed by it, so I'm really pleased that they're coming along really well. Then my other stuff what's coming along well, what I've planted recently, are my blueberries. They're looking pretty healthy. I planted them about a month ago now, and they've been planted in ericaceous soil, and they've been sunk into the ground so that the wind doesn't blow them over, and they're growing pretty well and healthy. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting some blueberries this year. I've got 2 other blueberry plants which are a bit older than these, more established, and hopefully we'll get a nice good crop of blueberries this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And I checked on my thornless blackberries. They're growing well. They're starting to get some shoots on them. And then I've planted a load of summer raspberry canes down the side of my plot, and they're taking really well. I checked them today and they've all got sprouts popping through on them, which shows that they're taking and that they are actually still alive and growing. And that is the reason why you need to be planting fruit at this time of year, because the ground is wet and they will take really well and better in the ground, and you can have some fantastic results from them. so they're coming along pretty well. And then I've been looking around at my bulbs, and my bulbs are coming up fantastic. I thought I'd planted a lot more than what's actually popping through, but we'll see how they go. Some may not have started yet. Hopefully they'll start popping through soon and we'll get some nice displays. I've just got to make a note of where areas where they've not grown so well, either because squirrels have pinched them or I've dug up the bulbs and I've not realised, and they may have got damaged. So we need to look at where we need to plant them at the end of this year. That's one thing that you always need to do when your bulbs come up. Have a look at areas what's not grown well and make a marker so that you know where to plant them next year, and try and fill in those gaps. Because I was talking to somebody last night and they were from the Wildlife Trust in Sheffield, and I said to them that I didn't use to grow flowers on my allotment at all, and now that I've started reading up on things more and knowing that you can get help the bees more, and she was really happy that I've been spreading that awareness of planting spring bulbs and to encourage the bees, because the spring bulbs are the first thing the bees see when they wake up from hibernation. Somebody messaged me the other day to say that they'd seen the first bee of the year and that it was very dozy and stuff like that, and they gave it some sugar to help it on its way. And it's just doing that little bit to help the bees. It doesn't cost a lot. You can get a pack of daffodil bulbs for a couple of quid and plant some on the allotment, as long as we're encouraging them to come to the allotment. And I'm trying to plant as many spring bulbs as I can round where my fruit grows, because obviously when they're out in flower and budding, blossoming, that is when the spring bulbs will be out, and that will encourage the bees to come to the fruit to help pollinate it and hopefully get some fantastic results back to the allotment and getting those great produce which you're growing. So it swings and roundabouts. You help the bees and the bees will help you. So do more for the bees and get them onto your allotment, because if other people aren't growing flowers on their plot and you're growing flowers, you're going to attract all the bees to your plot and you will get them doing all the work for you. And without the bees, we won't get some fantastic produce and crops. So keep on encouraging the bees to come to your plot this year and try and do what you can for them. So if you've not planted any spring bulbs this year, go out and get some at the end of the year and get planting them with me, because I'll be planting a load more. There's still some areas that I still need to get some bulbs in and get them filled up the beds. And also I've been getting loads of summer bulbs, but we'll talk about them in another episode. I've just been out and bought some today, so you'll find out what they are soon. So it's all coming together pretty well on my allotment, and I've completed my mission for this month. I was saying that I wanted to get all my beds dug over for February, and I can confirm that that is now done. All the beds are dug over. The next job is to sort out all the paths on the plot and to repaint all the beds, but I'm not going to repaint them, I don't think, until the end of April, just before I start planting stuff out. I want them to look the best throughout all summer, so we'll be painting those up come end of April. That'll be April's jobs to do. But I'm so far ahead this year. It's unbelievable how far I am actually ahead. So once I've sorted the paths out, that will be a couple of days work, because some are really weedy and I need to put some new black membrane down and fasten it all down and make it look good again. Once we've done that, then it will be going on to repairing any beds that are broken or damaged. Build a few more beds, because I've cleared an area at the top where I've not got beds laid, so we're going to have 3 new beds on the allotment this year, an extra 3 beds to plant in, so I'm looking forward to that. And there's quite a bit of daylight on this area, so hopefully we'll get some great crops, and I'm thinking of planting sweet corn up in these beds at the top of my plot, because it is quite moist as well. So hopefully they'll get nice and big and grow really well. So I'm hoping to get some fantastic sweet corn this year. I've been out and bought some sweet corn again. I'll talk about this in another episode of what I've purchased. So you'll have to subscribe to this podcast to get notified when that episode comes up. I keep encouraging you to subscribe, I'm sorry, but it does really help. And obviously the more people that listen to this podcast, it all goes back into buying bits for my allotment. So it's stuff that I can talk about to you. So keep on listening to these podcasts because it does really help with getting stuff. So what else have we been doing down at the allotment? So we've also purchased some more plants for the plot, and I've shared them on Instagram of what I purchased. I purchased 4 hydrangeas. Yes, 4. I've always wanted a hydrangea on my allotment. Whether it's because we used to have one in our garden, well, we had 3 in our garden, and they looked absolutely fantastic and always full of colour in the summer. So I wanted some nice hydrangeas on my plot, and I've planted those right at the front of my plot, which is like next to the roadside. So hopefully it will windshield some of my shed, because I planted a couple in front of my shed. So hopefully it'll windshield it a bit. Obviously it'll block a bit of the light, but I get all the light in from the roof as well because it's see-through on the roof. So hopefully it will stop it from getting damaged as much once they start growing. And they should grow pretty fast. I believe they're quite fast to grow, hydrangeas. As long as you give them plenty of water, they'll grow really well. And hopefully they'll take pretty good. And we've also purchased a clematis. Now clematis look absolutely stunning when they're out, and yeah, again the bees will love them because they've got all the little flowery bits on them. You can tell I'm a very technical person. They've got the flowery bits on them where they can land on, and they look absolutely fantastic. And I've planted that to grow it up in front of my shed, so that it grows, covers my shed really. I'm going to put chicken wire in front of all the plastic so that I can fasten it to the chicken wire and grow it in front of my shed. And yeah, it's a bit of a like to disguise it really, just to like block it off and make it look a bit more colourful rather than the horrible plastic look. So I'm looking forward to growing that clematis. Now I think I just need to pick up one more, because this one that I purchased, it said it doesn't grow very far. Now I thought clematis always spread quite far, but this one doesn't seem to spread that far. Clematis arabella. So if you're growing one of them, let me know, because I would love to know if yours is spread far. And yeah, I might have to pick another one of those up if I want to get it covered. Then I've purchased a honeysuckle, and it's a red one. A pinky reddy one, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And if you know honeysuckle, it smells divine as well. And I've planted that near the entrance of my plot so that I can smell it as I walk on. I just want as much colour on my plot this year as possible, and to make it as bright and beautiful to look at, and to get nice pictures as well. It's all about getting those pictures for the gram. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to having some honeysuckle on my plot. So we've got to look after that. And again, I'm going to be training that against wires and chicken wire to make sure that it grows well and that it covers the area that I want it to grow in. Then we've bought a jasmine, and this is Beesianum, if that's how you say it. I'm not very good at saying these words. I really do think I'm dyspraxic. I do struggle with saying words, so forgive me. But yeah, I'd never be able to do a gardening program because I wouldn't ever be able to say the words. I'd have to get an interpreter to do it. But yeah, we have got that, and it's a pink one again. I've seen the yellow jasmine and they look absolutely fantastic, but I've never seen a pink jasmine, and this does grow a lot. I think it says something like 7 meters it can grow in width, So I've put this as a hedging for down the side of my plot with my neighbour, and hopefully it will add some real attraction to the entrance of the plot and some real colour. So I'm looking forward to growing that as well and training it, because obviously I'll need to train it to grow where I want it to grow and to get the best out of it. So I am getting really excited about growing flowers and adding this colour to my plot. Obviously I've got all my seeds planned on the plot, all my flower seeds, but to have plants that come back every single year, that's a key as well at getting good results and making it look attractive. And then I bought a couple more climbing roses, pink ones, and they looked really healthy. I looked inside the boxes and they've got plenty of flowers, leaves coming on them, so it shows that they're healthy and that they will hopefully do pretty good. So yeah, we have got extremely lots and lots of things to do coming up on the plot, and like I said, I always set myself little tasks and missions. Like I said, I set myself the mission of this month clearing the whole of my plot and getting all the beds dug over, and I've completed that. I've managed to do it, so I'm pleased about that. So this month's mission, well, March, will be to sort out all the paths and to do any new beds and edging and get all that done this month. So it's going to be quite a crafty month this month, with my fantastic rubbish woodwork skills. We'll have to see how we get on, so we'll have to see if we get some great results from them and see how we get on. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this year. This year is going to probably be the best year on my allotment by far, for the results and what's going to be growing this year down at the plot, because I just want it to make it look like a masterpiece and a showpiece, just to show it all off and make it absolutely stunning for you to see. And I can't wait to see it, to be honest. All this hard work and effort that I'm putting in, and money as well, into the plot, but I'm hoping that the results that I get come back and show me how well it's come on and the results that we've got. So we'll have to see if we do get the results we're after down at the allotment. So yeah, like I said, it's all come from you listening to these podcasts. Like I say, I only get about £2 a day from them, but it all goes back into buying plants and seeds and compost to produce these episodes, because if I'd have not bought all them plants this weekend, I wouldn't have had anything to talk about. So it's all gone towards that, and you can see from my photos and my Instagram posts and my Facebook lives how well it's all coming along really well. So yeah, make sure you do click that subscribe button, because we have got over the next few episodes talking about all the seeds what have come with the magazines this month. Then we've got the episodes talking about what you need to do in March, and also what seeds to be planted in March. So yeah, thank you for being great supporters, and it's always great to hear from you. I do get so many messages from people every single day, talking about the podcast episodes that they've listened to, and also just like sharing it as well on their Instagram feeds that they've listened to this podcast. If you're listening to it on Spotify, you can click the share button and you can share it straight to your stories, and make sure you tag me in it so that I know that you've shared it, because any help is most definitely welcome. The more people we can get listening to this and joining this fantastic gardening community, the better. So thank you for all the support that you do give me. Until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts. So thank you for listening to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts. Feel free to share them on your Instagram stories so that it spreads the word about my podcast and we get lots more listeners. Feel free to check out my social media sites, Facebook and Instagram as well, Gardening with Ben, and also my YouTube channel, to stay up to date with all my handy videos, how-to videos, and sharing my tips and advice. and feel free to check the link as well in the description for my Gardening with Ben t-shirts. Lots of funny gardening design t-shirts in there for you to purchase at great prices too. So thanks again, and as always, remember, keep smiling and keep gardening.